This Nifty and the Sensex scale fresh highs as the market surges in the afternoon trade. Heavyweights Reliance, HDFC Bank, Mahindra & Mahindra, L&T, they lead the gains. Broader markets mirror benchmark indices. All the sectors end in the green.
Honasa Consumer, owner of the Mamaearth brand, sees a large trade of near 11% worth over 1,700 crore change hands. Private equity investors, including Peak Partners, are the likely sellers. The sale at a discount hurt the stock.
Granule slips over 12% after the US FDA issues 6 observations to the company's Gagillapur facility. Meanwhile, Biocon chief Kiran Majumdar-Shaw says she is not going to sell out, adds the target is to list Biocon Biologics business in the next 2 years. Hello and welcome to a fresh new edition of Markets Forward, your go-to show. We'll tell you what went on in today's blitzering trading session and also set you up for tomorrow's session. I'm Nigel D'Souza and joining me as always, Reema Tendulkar. Hey Reema, what a session.
What a session, right? And it came out of the blue. In the last 1.5 hours, the texture of the market completely changed. New all-time highs now on the Nifty and the Sensex. The Sensex crossing that 83,000 milestone. The Nifty crossing 25,400, but just closing below that. We'll talk all this in the next 20 minutes. We'll get you the big news, the key developments in the Dalal Street, top corporate voices, and the events to track ahead. But first, the market action.
Well, indeed, Reema, it was a breakout day. As you said, till around noon, everyone thought it's going to be that sort of a day. We'll move 50 points higher, 50 points lower, be in that bit of a range. But from around, 1 p.m. odd, we saw the markets that just took off. And the intraday chart actually will tell you the picture. Keep in mind, today's a Thursday, so we have the weekly expiry that plays out on the Nifty as well, which could be another factor at play. And you saw the call writers, they were scrambling for cover. You pull up the intraday chart on the Nifty, you'll see the way we took off indicated a bit of a breakout session. The Nifty Bank, that's the one that was struggling in the last few days, going around that 51,400, 51,350 mark and pulling back. Today it got up and going, it got past that and it conquered the 51,500 mark on a closing basis. The bulls will take heart from that, and if you pull up the 50 DMA, you'll see intraday it saw a good bounce and it even crossed above the 50 as well as the 20 DMA. I like that screen, and the Nifty Bank has been a big underperformer in the last 1 year or so. Maybe its time has come. We'll keep an eye out on that. And your portfolio will be feeling quite good. The heavyweights did well, but the number of stocks advancing in comparison to the number of stocks declining as well was firmly in favor of the stocks advancing. They didn't get close to each other. They kept their distance all through the trading session, telling you many stocks in the broader markets did quite well.
And many large caps also contributed. Of course, there is an outsized contribution coming in from heavyweights like Reliance Industries, HDFC Bank, Bharti Airtel. Reliance and HDFC Bank, of course, have a large weightage on the Nifty. But if you pull up that contribution plate, even if you take into account HDFC Bank, Bharti Airtel and Reliance, these three were the top contributors on the Nifty, but together they added up only about 100 points. And the Nifty gain today was close to about 470 points. So in that sense, a lot of heavyweights participated on the upside. There you have that picture. So it kind of a democratized up move today. But let's also tell you what we have for you on our show today. We start with the top stocks, the big movers and shakers of the day with Hormuz. The stocks in focus were pharma names, so Zydus Life, Biocon, Honasa Consumer and Kaynes Technology also on our radar. We'll tell you why these stocks were buzzing, and we'll prepare you for tomorrow's trading session with the key events to watch. But first up, as always, it's over to Hormuz. He's at the big wall with the top stock movers of the day. Hormuz.
Well, the markets are certainly celebrating Nigel's birthday with full gusto. It did look like that with the Nifty closing where it did. And yes, the index heavyweights had a very big part to play in that. Reliance Industries was one of them. Very swift recovery towards the close of the day, contributing almost 50 points to the index upside, eventually ending 2% higher. But the recovery from the day's low is the more important thing to talk about. Metal prices globally also surged along with the surge in the markets, and that showed up in a lot of these metal names. Hindalco was a case in point, ending 4% higher after an otherwise sluggish day until 2 o'clock, and that also was the top gainer, among the top gainers on the index today. Some positive brokerage commentary coming in from Kaynes Technologies. Nomura initiated coverage today, almost a 6,000 rupee price target, ending 11% higher. Good day for them. HPL Electric announced an order win in the middle of all of this market melee today. That too ended almost 4% higher with this 144 crore order. PSUs have struggled in the recent past, but today some relief coming in for them as well. And Engineers India was a standout among those PSUs. The management saying that their order book is at an all-time high. Some positive commentary coming in there as well. On the flip side, though, Biocon did not do well. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw spoke to CNBC TV 18, addressed rumors about a sellout as well, but the stock ending 2.5% lower today. A block deal impact on Honasa Consumer as well, 5% lower for that stock as well in today's session. And of course, can't not talk about the big loser of the day, that is Granules India, 16% lower after the US FDA observations, with CNBC TV 18 managed to access, and some very scathing observations made there as well. So almost 17% down for Granules India today. Back to you guys.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Let's invite Ambrish Baliga and Shilpa Raut on the show now. Shilpa joins us from Prabhudas Leeladhar. Ambrish and Shilpa, thank you very much for joining in. Shilpa, new levels, new highs on the market. So how do you trade it? Does the bias remain firmly favorable? So tomorrow, how do you expect trade to pan out? And any stocks that are going to break out perhaps tomorrow?
First of all, a very happy birthday to you, Nigel. May you have many good stories to tell, the coming year. And talking about indices, yes, we have been talking that, we will be seeing new all-time highs very soon. And that happened. Of course, this move nobody expected as of today. But these are markets and nothing expected happens. So we are just celebrating. I believe this momentum will continue for tomorrow as well. So the next target for Nifty is very, very strongly placed at 25,550 zones. So that is the next stop from here. And the good thing is that Bank Nifty is also moving out of that cluster zones of 51,500 to 600. And this close today is definitely signifying that there's a lot of strength, and you will see the mark of 52,500 in a couple of sessions. And from there, new all-time highs for Bank Nifty awaits.
Okay, all right. Thanks a lot, Shilpa, for the take on the index, as well as your wishes for me on my birthday. Let's focus on a couple of stocks and then we'll get some analysis going. A couple of stocks that were buzzing in trade were Granules India. The stock tumbled close to around 15%. US FDA, well, they pulled them up around their facilities, while Zydus Life as well was in focus because they got a warning letter as well. Ekta joins us to run us through both those two news pieces. Ekta.
Tough day when it came to regulatory concerns. Zydus Life, for example, the warning letter which was issued to their Jarod facility became public. So a couple of key points which were highlighted in the warning letter included the failure to thoroughly investigate any unexplained discrepancies. There were multiple cross-contamination events which took place over the past 3 odd months. And investigators, for example, observed multiple instances of poor aseptic techniques as well. Now, separately, Granules was in focus as well because they got 6 observations issued to the company's Gagillapur facility, which was inspected last month. Now, these observations became public, and I think the street was quite concerned about it because the first observation itself went over 10 odd pages. They again pointed out factors such as unexplained discrepancies, and there was a repeat observation from Jan 2023 as well. There were quality unit issues which were pointed out quite substantially in the Form 483 as well. So the street is probably expecting a longer road when it comes to remediation for Granules for their Gagillapur facility, and one is probably not even ruling out the fact that there could be data integrity concerns as well.
Ekta, do stay on because we had this interesting chat with Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw of Biocon. Shireen had it at US IBC, where she went on to say that I'm an entrepreneur who's built a business to last. I am not selling out. That's when Shireen asked her about these persistent rumors about, Kiran Mazumdar selling her stake in the company. The conversation was also about the Biocon Biologics IPO timeline. So just paraphrase and summarize the interview for us, Ekta.
Start with the key highlights on equity raising. When Shireen did actually quiz Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw about equity raising, she did say that yes, there is some truth to the fact that the company is looking at equity investments. There are rumors doing the rounds on the type of investments that they're looking at, but they cannot comment at this point in time. But they would look at several options, but they're focusing on equity options and maybe some other financing options as well. Now on debt, they have said that they are comfortable in terms of servicing their their debt as seen in the past 2 quarters, but they always wanted to be at a lower level of leverage. So while they are in a position to comfortably service debt, they are not comfortable at these levels of debt. So reducing debt would probably be one of the priorities. On selling out, considering that, there are concerns that Biocon could be on the block, there could be concerns about a succession plan. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw really shot down anything like that and said that don't pay heed to any rumors with regards to selling out, and a succession plan is in place, and she is almost at a non-executive level in most of the positions that she has in the companies. In terms of triggers for Biocon, currently they are focused on biosimilars, GLP-1, in generics and drug delivery services. Bicara, which is one of their investments in the US, is in the process of going public in the US, so that would be something to watch out for. The focus for the company is efficiency, paring down debt, and creating an engine for Biocon Biologics. They are targeting an IPO probably in the next 2 years for Biocon Biologics, or maybe even less than that.
Got that, Ekta. Thanks a lot for that. Well, Amrish, I wanted your view, particularly on Granules. When the stock falls 15%, the street clearly has taken it as a very, very severe observation that's come in there. What's your view with the stock 15% lower? Would you look to buy into this bad piece of news, or do you think that it's providing a good entry opportunity?
No, because see, whenever there's a bad news, especially as far as USFDA is concerned, we have seen that those stocks correct quite sharply, and then they consolidate at lower levels, and after a while, they again start moving back to where they were. So I think something similar should happen to Granules. I'll not be surprised if it falls a bit more from here. It's already fallen about 20-21% from the recent highs which we saw. Today it's fallen 16%. So it's possible that we could see levels of about 530, 540. Not much below that, and it should consolidate those levels for a while. So I think that should be a good buying point. I would even say at if one, one can take a bit more of risk. Can even buy at the current levels and possibly hold on for the next month and a half, 2 months. I think that's when this thing will actually cool off, and you'll see Granules again. Again trying to get back to those levels of 650, 700.
Shilpa, pharma has been the darling of the markets for the last 3 months. Lots of interest. Pharma being a defensive in nature, very low volatility in terms of earnings. Earnings particularly have been strong in the quarter gone by. Which one is the best chart in the pharma names?
If you look at the chart, I believe, the lab, the diagnostic space and the lab stocks are, much better placed in the sector. I believe, Metropolis Lab, Lalpath Lab, or, maybe Ipca Lab. Ipca Lab has also given a very strong breakout, sustaining above 1400. It is all set to test 1520. Metropolis in that case can do 2300 as well. Lawless Lab has been having a very spectacular run and still has a lot of steam to see, 650 levels from here. So I believe this is the space in the segment where one should go long.
Okay, the other stock of the day was Honasa Consumer, and that fell nearly 5%. This is on the back of a large block deal, 10.9%, or as much as 3.5 crore shares worth 1,700 crore rupees changed hand on the bourses. Now, we learned from sources that lots of PE players, whether it's Sequoia Capital, Redwood Trust, Fireside Ventures, Stellaris Ventures, Sofina Ventures, were amongst the list of sellers. That entire list is also up for you on your screen. What we've also picked up, Nimesh has picked up, that now there is a lock-in period of 60 days from here on.
Okay, all right. Well, let's move on then. EMS company, Kaynes, was up more than 10%. Nomura initiated coverage. They have a buy rating. The brokerage believes that Kaynes can benefit from the rising demand for electronics into B2B space. Upasana joins us to detail that report. Upasana, take it away.
While Kaynes Technologies continued to remain in focus today after Nomura initiated coverage on the stock with a buy rating and a target price of 5,969 per share. The brokerage believes that the company is a key beneficiary of rising electronic penetration in B2B industrial segment. It believes that the company's expansion in OSAT and PCB manufacturing will expand the total addressable market to $10 billion in India. It believes over the longer term, company's EMS business can reach $8 billion with a further upside from OSAT and PCB segment. Company's order book stands strong at 5,000 crore as of Q1 FY25, providing high growth visibility over the medium term. It is estimating a strong 56% revenue CAGR and 58% EBITDA CAGR over FY26 to FY27. The stock is currently trading at 40 times FY27 EPS, and Nomura believes that the valuation currently stands attractive given the growth outlook of the company.
Okay, Ambarish, Honasa, 5% cut. Would you be interested?
Again, I mean, whenever there are block trades, we have seen that most of these block trades happen at a discount, and post that, these stocks bounce back. So Honasa, I mean, because of these block trades, it's come down to these levels. I think it should bounce back. But again, I don't see a huge move from here. I think the bounce back can possibly last to about 515, 520 levels. Going beyond that, at least like in the near future, seems a bit difficult.
All right, Amrish, I wanted your view on the metals pack. You know, today we had the metal index. It started a little bit subdued, but it moved to the high point of the day. We put out this piece yesterday. There are various headwinds with regard to Chinese demand, which is the key producer. But today those indices moved up. Now they're bracing for the Chinese economy needs to buckle up. So there'll be some measures coming in from the Chinese central bank and the government. Absolutely. And the Fed will cut rates, which are normally good for metals. Any pick you have from there?
No, in fact, I mean, because of these two reasons, I mean, we'll see metals moving up. As far as China is concerned, I think there is clearly a talk of cutting its mortgages rates, and that should spur demand in China, and because of which metals should move up. And my pick would be basically in steel. It would be Tata Steel, and as far as aluminum is concerned, I would surely go with Hindalco.
Shilpa, Bajaj Auto stands out for the kind of rise that it's seen day after day. 2.5% gain today, this month 7.5%, and for the year 72%.
Bajaj Auto is completely unstoppable. I believe the stock can even do 12,500 in coming, series. So I believe, the stock, you just have to trail your stop loss. The trailing stop loss for now, who are already positionally holding the script, should be around 11,450. Or anybody who wants to get into the fresh, stage now, you can buy on declines towards 11,500 as well, and keep that stop loss of 11,400 to 450 levels. I believe, it is all set to test 12,000 to 12,500.
Thank you, Ambarish and Shilpa, for giving us those key market insights. It's time for a short break. We'll get you the key corporate events to watch and the key market events to watch out for tomorrow's trade. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. You're tuned in to Markets Forward. Well, it's a good time to get the highlights from all the top corporate voices that spoke to us earlier today. Mining company GMDC expects 9 million tons of lignite production in FY25. The management outlined the aspirational vision for the strategic growth with a vision to hit revenues of around 14,500 crores by 2030. They added that they are targeting return ratios of around 15% on the coal mining projects.
Engineers India said that the company is working on projects in green hydrogen and green ammonia. Adds they're in dialogue with private sector on investments in UAE, Kuwait, Guyana, Algeria, Bahrain, as they're working on high-end infrastructure sector across geographies. The management also highlighted the order book is at an all-time high of 11,300 crore rupees.
And Monte Carlo says that Q2 demand has been better than expected, driven by monsoon and stronger wedding demand. They added that they may revise the revenue guidance higher in Q3 from the current expectation of flat growth.
And lastly, CE Infosystems, popularly known as MapMy India, says that Mapple's app, the downloads have exceeded expectations. It's been higher than Google Maps. In fact, it's rated more on the App Store, and the last known number is 10 million downloads. They added that their collaboration with Zoomcar will also go live this year.
Well, before we wrap up on the show, let's bring you some key market events you need to track. Abhishek is standing by to give us all those key events. Abhishek.
Well, to begin with, watch out for the RBI's data on forex reserve that will come out tomorrow. Last time it was around $683.9 billion. Also, passenger vehicle sales, which will come out from SIAM. Last time it was a negative growth of 1.9%. In terms of dividends, AMI Organics final dividend of ₹3, BML final dividend of ₹15.5, and Gujarat Industries Power final dividend of close to ₹4. EGM tomorrow, Jindal Saw will hold an EGM tomorrow. In terms of stock split, Krishna Institute of Medical Services, the stock will split to ₹2 from ₹10 face value. One Sources, Ideas Venture and Sport King India Limited, they will each split into face value of ₹1 from ₹10 that they were earlier. So bonus issue, Monarch Capital 1:1 is the ratio over there. And in terms of rights issue, Sadhana Nitrochem as well as Tilak Ventures Limited, they will have a rights issue tomorrow. Back to you.
All right, Abhishek, thanks a lot for that. Well, on that note, though, we'll have to wrap up on this edition of Markets Forward. We'll be back with more news and updates on the other side.